What if I told you that the way you kiss a man could make him crave you long after you've walked away, without taking off a single piece of clothing? Because the truth is, most women kiss, but only a few know how to seduce with their lips, their breath, their energy. And once you learn how to do that, he won't just want the kiss, he'll want you. Let me show you how. A kiss becomes unforgettable not because of the lips alone, but because of the anticipation that leads up to it. The tension that builds slowly and seductively, moment by moment, until he's silently begging for it without even realizing. This kind of anticipation isn't about being obvious or overly aggressive. It's about subtlety, mystery, and control. It starts before your faces are even close. It begins in the way you look at him during a quiet conversation, holding eye contact just a little longer than necessary, then glancing away with the faintest hint of a smile. It shows in how your hand brushes his arm when you laugh, in how you lean in just enough to let him feel your presence, your scent, your energy, without giving him the satisfaction of a full touch. When you speak, your voice lowers, your words slow down, and your tone shifts into something softer, almost teasing, as if every syllable is laced with something you're not quite saying out loud. Anticipation is built when you make him feel like he's close to having something he deeply wants, but he still doesn't know when or how it will come. Maybe your lips get close to his, but you change the subject. Maybe your hand grazes his neck, but then you pull it away like it was nothing. These little moments may seem small, but they stack like kindling, creating emotional and physical tension that intensifies with every second. A kiss that comes too fast loses power, but when you make him wait, just enough to feel like he's slipping under a spell, that's when it becomes electric. That's when his mind is no longer thinking about the day, the room, or what comes next. He's tuned into you, your every move, every breath, every glance. You can watch him shift closer without even noticing. You'll see it in his eyes, in the way his voice changes, lower and slower, in the way his body turns toward you, like instinct. Anticipation makes the air heavy with unspoken words and untouchable energy. And when your lips finally do meet, it feels like an explosion of everything that was held back. The kiss itself becomes not just a kiss, but a reward, a release, a moment that feels earned, not given. And once he experiences that kind of lead-up, the kind where every second was laced with subtle tension, he'll crave it every time he's near you again, not because of the kiss alone, but because of the power you held in the moments before. A slow kiss is one of the most underestimated forms of intimacy, yet it's also one of the most powerful because it taps into something deeply primal, a need to feel rather than just act. When a woman kisses a man slowly, it doesn't just stimulate his body, it pulls him into a different emotional frequency, one where he's no longer just thinking with his head, but reacting with instinct. In a world that moves fast and rewards speed, slowing down becomes an unexpected seduction. It tells him you're not rushing through the moment, you're savoring it, and that makes him want to do the same. When your lips move slowly against his, when you pause just slightly between breaths or linger for a beat too long before going in again, it sends a signal that this is not just physical, it's intentional, it's magnetic, and it's controlled. The slow kiss heightens every sense. He begins to notice things he never did before, the softness of your lips, the rhythm of your breathing, the heat of your body inching closer, and the way your fingers gently trace along his jaw or slip into his hair. You make him feel every second, and that feeling lasts longer than any heated rush. It's not about being timid or hesitant. It's about presence, about stretching out the pleasure and making him live in it. A slow kiss invites vulnerability too, because it strips away the noise and makes room for connection. When you kiss him slowly, you're showing that you're not afraid to take your time, that you're confident enough to lead without force, to guide without rushing. It makes the experience intimate in a way that catches him off guard, especially if he's used to kisses that feel more like a checkpoint than a journey. The slow pace allows your lips to explore, not just touch, but search, learn, tease. It gives space for tiny changes, a pause that makes him lean in, a soft moan that escapes without warning, a gentle bite that keeps him wanting more. And what he feels in those moments isn't just attraction, it's gravity. You become the center of his attention, his desire, and his breath. This kind of kiss doesn't need fireworks to be unforgettable. It's the burn of a candle instead of a spark. It stays, it glows, it lingers. And when it's done right, he'll walk away with that feeling still on his lips, not because of how much you gave him, but because of how deeply he felt it, second by slow second. A truly sexy kiss isn't a routine. It's an exploration, a conversation between two bodies that don't need words to speak. And what makes it unforgettable is when it feels intentional, curious, and alive. When you kiss a man with the energy of discovery, when you approach it like you're learning the map of his desires with your lips, your hands, your rhythm, it shifts the entire experience from passive to powerful. It's not about doing what you think you should, it's about doing what feels good and letting that guide your movement. You might start with his lips, soft and slow, but then shift to his bottom lip, giving it a slight tug, or brushing your tongue lightly just to feel his reaction. Maybe you move down and kiss the corner of his mouth, or trail your lips slowly toward his jawline, letting him feel the warmth of your breath on his skin before you even touch him again. That kind of unpredictability keeps him completely locked in, because it tells him you're not on autopilot. You're there, present, tuned into him, and willing to play in that moment. Your hands aren't just accessories, they're instruments of seduction, and how you use them can heighten every kiss. Slide them into his hair and gently pull. Place them on his chest and feel his heartbeat. Run your fingertips down his arm while you lean into him. Each move says something different without saying anything at all. A kiss becomes sexier when it carries variation. Sometimes you go soft, sometimes firm, sometimes you pause and let silence fill the space, and sometimes you deepen the kiss like you're pulling him into a world only you two know. This kind of kissing invites him to respond, to match your energy, to feel safe dropping the mask and stepping into pure feeling. And in that dance of give and take, where no move is exactly repeated and no moment is exactly expected, the kiss becomes a living thing. It grows, it shifts, it breathes with you. When you kiss him this way, you're not just touching his mouth, you're accessing his emotions, his desires, and most importantly, his attention. You're letting him feel chosen, not just kissed. That presence, that energy of I'm here with you right now, is what pulls him in and makes the kiss last far beyond the moment your lips leave his. It's not perfection that turns him on, it's your confidence in your curiosity, your willingness to explore without hesitation, and your refusal to let the moment become predictable. When you kiss like you're learning him for the first time every time, you create something electric, something he'll crave not just physically, but emotionally, because it made him feel seen in the most intimate, skin-to-skin kind of way. Most people think of a kiss as all about lips and touch, but what often gets overlooked is the powerful role breath plays in turning a kiss from something simple into something deeply erotic. The way you breathe while kissing can change the entire experience. It communicates desire, builds tension, and connects you to his rhythm without a single word. When you exhale softly against his mouth right before your lips meet, or let a warm breath escape between kisses, it signals that you're fully in the moment, that your body is responding to his in real time. That breath, that soft sound that escapes you without trying, creates an atmosphere so intimate that it makes the kiss feel more like an emotional current than just physical contact. Think of how it feels when you whisper near someone's ear. The message isn't just in the words, it's in the way the air moves against their skin, the closeness, the vulnerability of it. The same thing happens when your breathing becomes part of the kiss. The sound of a breath, the quickening of pace, a little gasp when he touches you in the right place. Those are all silent confirmations that what's happening is real, intense, and affecting you deeply. It tells him that you're not just going through the motions, you're feeling everything. And that's an irresistible signal to any man who wants to know he's turning you on. And if you sync your breathing with his, something almost primal takes place. Your bodies fall into rhythm, your kiss becomes a dance. And even without realizing it, he starts to feel more connected, more drawn in, like your energies are merging. Your breath can also be used to tease. Pull away slightly from the kiss, hover your mouth near his, let your breath fan across his lips or jaw, and you'll watch how his body reacts. Tense, lean in, crave. Breath is about pacing too. because if you're breathing heavily or slowing down intentionally, it tells him how overwhelmed or calm you are, and you can shift the mood with it. Use fast breathing to intensify the passion, or slow it down to make it more emotional and magnetic. Even subtle vocal expressions like soft moans, sighs, or little hums can trigger something in his brain, reinforcing that what he's doing is right, and making him want to keep going. These aren't just sounds, they're invitations, and they're incredibly sexy when done naturally, when they come from a place of being fully present. And sometimes, the quietest moments are the loudest, when everything stops for just a second, and all he hears is your breath, close and warm. It creates a tension that doesn't even need touch to feel powerful. So many women focus on technique, on what to do with their lips or hands, but forget that their breath is a language of its own, a sensual, invisible force that can build arousal and deepen connection with very little effort. It makes the kiss feel alive, layered, and full of possibility. And once a man has experienced that kind of kiss, where every inhale and exhale pulls him deeper into the moment, it's something he never forgets, because it made him feel more than just physical pleasure. It made him feel you. There's something undeniably electric about a kiss that flips the expected dynamic, where instead of passively reacting, you take control, not with force, but with intention, with confidence that says you know exactly what you want, and you're not afraid to show it. When you gently take the lead in a kiss, whether it's by grabbing his shirt collar, pushing him lightly against a wall, straddling his lap, or guiding his face toward yours, it sends a clear message that you're not waiting for permission to feel desire, you're owning it. That kind of boldness is rare, and because it's rare, it's wildly attractive. It breaks the monotony of routine affection and wakes something up inside him, a part of his masculinity that feels simultaneously challenged and deeply desired. You create a delicious power exchange, one where dominance isn't about overpowering, but about confidence, a kind of playful assertiveness that makes the moment feel more intense, more alive. And it's not about doing something aggressive for the sake of shock. It's about using your body language to say, I want you right now, without needing to speak. When you lean in first, when your kiss starts slow but suddenly deepens, when your hand firmly slides into his hair or your nails graze down his neck, you're no longer waiting for the moment, you are the moment. And that kind of energy changes the way he experiences you. You go from being someone he's kissing to someone he's following, someone he's mentally chasing even as you're right in front of him. Men are wired to respond to confidence, especially when it comes wrapped in intimacy. A kiss led with certainty taps into both his emotional need to be desired and his physical drive to be challenged in the best way. You become not just his partner in the kiss, you become the flame pulling him closer, the one in control of the tension, the speed, the depth. And what makes it even sexier is when you don't hold the lead the entire time, when you give it and take it back in moments, creating a dance that keeps him guessing, keeps him excited, keeps him hungry for your next move. This dynamic creates a loop of anticipation and surrender. When you take the lead, then suddenly pull back, look into his eyes, smile like you know something he doesn't, and then let him take the reins again. It amplifies the chemistry tenfold. The kiss becomes more than physical. It becomes a game of tension and release, of giving and taking, of control and surrender, and that duality is what turns it into something unforgettable. It's not about dominating him, it's about making the kiss feel like it has layers, like something is always shifting beneath the surface. He never fully knows what to expect next from you, and that unpredictability makes him hang on every second. That's what makes your kiss different. That's what makes it addictive, because in that moment, you're not just kissing him, you're showing him your power, your softness, your hunger, your self-possession all at once. You're becoming the woman who knows how to lead without losing sensuality, who knows how to take charge without taking away connection. And that balance is so rare, so thrilling, that it imprints itself on his mind long after the kiss is over. How you end a kiss can be even more powerful than how you begin it, because it's the last thing he feels, the moment that lingers in his mind and leaves him wondering what just happened and what might come next. When you end a kiss with a tease instead of a conclusion, you're creating a space of tension that doesn't get resolved, and that space is where desire lives. It's the emotional equivalent of stopping a song right before the final note, or pausing a movie in the middle of the most intense scene. It leaves him craving more. Instead of pulling away and immediately stepping back into normal conversation or routine, you hover in that space just a little longer. Maybe you slowly pull away, but keep your face close to his, lips brushing as you whisper something soft. Or maybe you bite your lower lip and hold his gaze with a knowing smile, like you're not quite finished, just taking a pause. That look, that breath, that flicker of mystery, it makes him feel like he just tasted something he wasn't supposed to, something he wants again, but doesn't know when he'll get. Even the smallest details matter. The way your fingers slowly slip away from his neck, how you walk away still half turned toward him, or how you give him one last feather-like kiss on the cheek or jaw before turning your back. These tiny actions build longing, and longing is what keeps him coming back. A kiss that ends with finality is like closing a door, but a kiss that ends with subtle suggestion leaves the door just barely open, enough for his imagination to wander. It's about emotional pacing, about being so present in the moment that you're not rushing to the end, but instead choosing when and how to exit. Knowing that leaving a little behind is what makes it stay alive in his mind. And what makes it even more powerful is when you carry that energy into the seconds that follow. Don't just tease during the kiss. Tease with your body language, your eyes, your silence. Let there be a slight delay before you speak again. Let him feel your absence, even though you're still right in front of him. That absence creates desire. He won't remember the mechanics of the kiss as much as he'll remember how you made him feel afterward. Slightly off balance, intrigued, hooked. You become the woman who knows how to control energy, not just affection. He doesn't feel finished, he feels curious, activated, and slightly undone in the best way. And when you combine that with all the intimacy and intensity that came before, you create a memory that he loops over and over in his head. He starts watching for your next move, starts paying closer attention, starts craving the moment not just for pleasure, but because you've triggered something deeper in him, his desire to chase, to win, to uncover more. So by ending the kiss with a tease, by pulling away not with closure but with confidence, you turn something simple into something cinematic, and he becomes the man who can't stop thinking about the woman who knows how to leave him breathless. Not because she gave it all, but because she gave just enough to keep his heart and mind tangled in the possibility of more. So when it comes to kissing a man in a way that truly turns him on, it's never just about the kiss itself. It's about how you build the moment, how you breathe life into it, how you let it speak without words. It's in the anticipation you create before your lips ever touch, the way you slow down and make him feel every second, the way you explore with curiosity instead of routine, and how your breath becomes a rhythm he can feel in his chest. It's in the quiet confidence you show when you take the lead for just a moment, flipping the dynamic and making him feel the heat of your desire. And most of all, it's in the way you pull back before the moment is fully over, leaving him with a taste of something more, something mysterious, something he can't shake. Because the sexiest kiss isn't just felt on his lips, it's felt in his memory, his imagination, and in the way his body lights up every time you're near. That kind of kiss doesn't end when you pull away. It lives on, haunting him in the best way, making him crave not just your kiss but you.